Welcome back to 30 Days, 30 Terms. Today we're going to talk about hydration, focusing specifically on sourdough starter hydration. Hydration is one of those sourdough concepts that often takes hearing more than once before it really clicks. When you see a sourdough recipe that simply says starter with no other description, there is usually an assumption being made. That assumption is that you're using a starter that is at 100% hydration. So, what does that mean? A starter at 100% hydration is made up of equal parts flour and water. That's 50% flour and 50% water. If you've been feeding your starter equal amounts of flour and water each time you feed it, then your starter is at 100% hydration. Now, when people talk about feeding a starter, they usually describe it using a 3-part ratio. That ratio tells you how much starter, how much flour, and how much water you're using. For example, a very common feed is a 1:1:1 ratio. That means 1 part starter, 1 part flour, and 1 part water. Because the flour and water amounts match, a starter fed at a 1:1:1 ratio is still a 100% hydration starter. But 1:1:1 is just one example. You can feed your starter many different ratios and still keep the hydration at 100%, as long as the flour and water stay equal. For example, you might feed your starter a 1:2:2 ratio, a 1:5:5 ratio, or a 12:18:18 ratio. In every case, the flour and water amounts match each other. That means no matter which feeding ratio you use, you are still maintaining a starter that is at 100% hydration. And this is the key idea for starter hydration. What matters is the balance between water and flour. When those are equal, the starter is at 100% hydration. In part 2, we'll talk about dough hydration.